with Trump as president. And in sports, Johnson helps Australia beat Pakistan to win T20 series. The details after this. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the official launch of the National Identification System NIDS marks a significant milestone in Jamaica's journey towards a more secure and digitally integrated society. NIDS was officially launched on Friday. Prime Minister Holness and Governor General Sir Patrick Allen became the first Jamaicans to receive their NIDS cards during the launch event.
This is a moment long in coming and a moment that the entire Jamaica can be proud of. As a nation, we have been talking about a national ID from as long ago as in the 70s. Several cabinet submissions, pieces of legislation were drafted, but we have never found the wherewithal to actually engage in and complete the process. I must thank all the persons who have worked long and hard to have the national identification card brought to this point. We are now at the point where we can now actually print and deliver the national ID card.
NIDS is a volunteer program designed to provide a comprehensive and secure framework for collecting and storing identity information. The system also facilitates electronic signing of documents and offers a secure way of accessing government services online. Prime Minister Holness is encouraging citizens to embrace the system, emphasizing its potential to enhance national security and provide significant digital advantages.
Every Jamaican can have a secured national ID. We have several identification documents. We have passports, we have our electoral ID, we have our driver's license. None of them have the level of security that this card gives. But this card also gives an additional benefit. It allows for the conduct of digital transactions in a seamless way because it allows for digital electronic verification of the card. And that places us now in another step which we call the digital society. So the NIDS provides the basis on which we can now claim to be a digital society.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Holness says an important benefit of having a NIDS card is the reduction of time it takes to do business.
With your digital ID, you will be able to do much more. Consider that you want to open a bank account and you're new to the bank. The bank has all kinds of regulations that makes it mandatory that they know their customer. And that know your customer requirement sometimes can be very involved. You are required to take in 2 or more forms of identification. You may have to have a justice of the peace verify your identification. And then when that is brought in, they may take a few more days to actually check to see that this is so. With the national ID, there is no need for that anymore. The verification of identification is almost instantaneous. And therefore, the law that supports the ID says that if you present your ID, no other form of identification is required.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Several suspects have been held in connection with the murder of Homewood Technical High School's bus driver Rohan Gentles, otherwise called Scrooge. The incident happened just after 8 a.m. shortly after school began. Mr. Gentles, who was 47 years old, was preparing to transport the football team to a match when he was attacked. Head of the Manchester Police, Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, says the suspects were apprehended in Clarendon.
This bastard act was perpetrated by a gunman who lay in wait for him at his workplace. After the incident, he escaped in a motor vehicle that was waiting some distance away. Immediately after the incident, our operational investigation machinery was put in place and some serious work was done. It led us over into a neighboring parish of Clarendon where a vehicle was intercepted and some persons taken in custody. As it stands now, those persons have been interviewed. We're hoping to move the investigation further.
Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, head of the Manchester Police, he and National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang visited the murder scene at the school Friday afternoon. Meanwhile, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has commended the police for their swift work in the apprehension. The minister also said residents in the area played a key role in helping the police to move swiftly against the perpetrator. Dr. Chang also said that there was a similar shooting in the community.
The criminal in the first incident was killed in combat. In fact, was unknown. murder was on the radar of the police, and they tracked him down and engaged the police and he got killed. He was allegedly met responsible for several murders in the area. This one, I don't have the history of it, but they have it back. Apparently they did everything. But the driver who took him away from property and himself, and that was, at the contrary, swift, effective work by the police had commend officers involved. And also the brave citizens would have provided some information.
Dr. Horace Chang, National Security Minister. The principal of Homewood Technical High School, Hydron Mikulski, said the school community was left traumatized following the incident. Mr. Mikulski said some students were released into the custody of their parents in the aftermath of the shooting.
Well, yeah, it's a sad day. It's a sad day for us at Homewood Technical High School, for Christiana and Manchester, for Jamaica. The killing of the school's driver is deeply regretted. I mean, this is someone who is pretty much comfortable, interacts well with everyone. As Minister said earlier, he transports the students on path from Mandeville to school. It's just unfortunate. The students were pretty much traumatized. The teachers equally.
That's Hydron Mikulski, principal of Homewood Technical High School, and we apologize for the quality of that insert. Meanwhile, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon has expressed profound sadness over Friday's tragic killing of Homewood Technical High School bus driver. In a statement the same day, the minister extended condolences to Rohan Gentle's family, friends, and the entire Homewood Technical High School community.
The Ministry of Education is extremely saddened by what took place on the campus of Homewood Technical High School this morning, where a driver tragically and senselessly lost his life. We want to express condolences to the family of the driver and the entire school community, who we know are in mourning and are hurting really badly at this time. The ministry is committed to working with the school community to provide whatever support the community needs as they go through this very difficult time.
A support team has been mobilized to include school leaders, regional safety and security officers, education officers, as well as guidance and counseling officers and social workers. These individuals are on site to provide critical emotional and psychological support to students, staff, and other members of the school community. Even as she strongly condemned the violent attack, Dr. Morris-Dixon reiterated the ministry's stance against any form of crime, especially those that compromise the safety of schools.
The ministry is also going to be doing a review of the safety and security protocols at the school so that we can identify where there are any gaps and strengthen measures to safeguard our children and the wider school community. We stand with Homewood Technical High School. We know that our schools should be places where our children go to learn, to develop, to become the best that they can be. And today, that was not the case. And so I say to the Homewood family that the ministry is going to be supporting you. We are here and we'll do everything we can to make sure that you have whatever support is necessary.
Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Minister of Education, Youth and Information. Human rights group Jamaicans for Justice has welcomed the court's decision to transfer the Maria Dean case to Westmoreland. Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, says while the move represents a step forward, the state must ensure that the venue change represents meaningful improvements to the pace of the decades-old case.
We welcome the recent development in the Maradine case. However, the caution that we have is that unless some of the systemic issues that fueled the lower than expected juror numbers, we want to ensure that those matters are addressed. For example, simply put, the preparation of the jury list. How timely was that done? How timely did the police ensure that the summons were in fact served. And this is a word of caution that we want to issue to the police, that they must do better. There should never be the perception that given who the defendants are, that may very well likely contribute to the lack of alacrity that we have seen demonstrated in the case so far.
Justice Bertram Morrison made the decision to transfer the case from the St. James Circuit Court to Westmoreland Friday morning. The 3 police personnel charged in connection with Dean's 2014 death are set to appear in the Westmoreland Circuit Court on February 17. Ms. Jackson is urging the court to set an early date to proceed with the trial next year. She says this will ensure the family, especially Dean's mother, Mercia Fraser, will get closure.
We want to ensure that when the matter comes up for mention in February 2025, we will see a trial date being set shortly thereafter. That is what we remain hopeful for, because if you listen to Ms. Fraser, she almost sounds dejected and disappointed in the criminal justice system. And I think, having waited 10 years for justice to be realized for her son, I think all of us as Jamaican citizens can say, listen, let's do better, and let's ensure that come next year for first quarter, we can see the trial date actually being set and actually being commenced.
Michael Jackson, Executive Director of JFJ. Now to news in the region. The Bridgetown Division has emerged as Barbados' crime hotspot, recording the highest number of incidents across the island, including 188 assaults, 104 robberies, and 47 woundings, according to a new government crime report. The study, presented by government criminologist Kim Ramsey, reveals how high population density and low socioeconomic status are driving elevated crime rates, particularly in urban areas surrounding the capital, such as Chapman Hill and Deacons. On the international scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he is certain the war with Russia will end sooner than it otherwise would have done once Donald Trump becomes U.S. president. Zelensky said he had a constructive exchange with Trump during their phone conversation after his victory in the U.S. presidential election. He did not say whether Trump had made any demands regarding possible talks with Russia, but said he'd not heard anything from him that was contrary to Ukraine's position. Trump has consistently said his priority is to end the war and stop what he says is a drain on U.S. resources in the form of military aid to Ukraine. Let's now turn to sports. Spencer Johnson's maiden international 5-wicket haul helped give Australia an unassailable 2-0 lead in the T20 series against Pakistan with a 13-run victory in Sydney. The 28-year-old pace bowler took 5 for 26 as Australia dismissed Pakistan for 134 to win the second T20 of the best-of-3 series. With Pakistan chasing 148 to win, Johnson ripped through the top order to leave the visitors on 44 for 4, taking 3 wickets. Pakistan regained a foothold, helped by Usman Khan's half-century. But Johnson removed Khan for 52, then Abbas Afridi with his 5th wicket of the match. Irfan Khan's unbeaten 37 took Pakistan within touching distance, but Harris Rofe was run out as the hosts were dismissed for 134. And now to recap the top stories making the news at 9. The National Identification System NIDS has been officially launched. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says this marks a significant milestone in Jamaica's journey towards a more secure and digitally integrated society. Suspects in the murder of Homo Technical High School's bus driver nabbed. I'm Andrew Cannon. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com, another nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at midday.
You've just heard Nationwide News Now at 9.
Outperform, outlast. Hilti. With top performance. Hilti. Hilti. Chakama. Reliable. Full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilti. Available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply. We service what we sell.
Life is precious. Whether you're driving through the hills in the country, the town, or on the highway, remember, slow down and take it easy. Your family and friends are depending on you to get home safe. Speeding may save you minutes, but careful driving saves lives. Since the beginning of this year, 288 people have been killed in 247 crashes, so drive safe.
Brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
All I want for Christmas is...
Wait, Chris and Charles has great loans and something extra special this season?
Yes, we're spreading joy to everyone. Starting November 1st, 2024, get a low interest rate Christmas loan and a special reward just for you.
Call 876-926-0609
or visit our website for details. Better hurry, conditions apply. Stocks are limited. Promotion ends December 23rd, 2024. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing